number of Aucklanders sleeping rough has almost doubled in less than a year.
For the first time in my 12 years at the mission, I've approved the purchase of mattresses so that we can have a place for people to sleep during the day.
Homelessness has reached a crisis point across Aotearoa. In Christchurch, the Methodist Mission says people are giving up on asking for help.
What we're seeing is a group of people who are now saying there's actually no point going into work and income. We know we're going to get rejected. We know we're going to get turned down. What's the point of actually going in there and putting ourselves through that?
That's despite government ministers repeatedly saying earlier this month that genuine need will be met.
For people who have a genuine need, who need something to put a roof over their head so they don't sleep rough, that support will be available.
I don't believe that is happening.
And we are just repeatedly putting that back in front of ministers to say those in genuine need, they are not being met.
Information obtained under the OIA shows how people seeking emergency housing are processed. In total, there are 45 reasons people can be declined. The top 5 are other, circumstances could have reasonably been foreseen, not an emergency situation, not a qualifying need, and the fastest rising reason is need can be met in another way. The use of need can be met in another way is on track to double in use between 2020 and the end of this year. Housing Minister Chris Bishop told us MSD had been directed to use their discretion and repeated that it was there for those who need it.
And one of the key questions that MSD staff are directed to ask people is, have they tried low-cost housing? And low-cost housing is a different way of describing what we would commonly know as boarding houses.
MSD denies this and said in a statement, "We do not refer people to private accommodation such as boarding houses. Boarding houses are unregulated, have no social support and often have shared living spaces and bathrooms. A tragic example is Loafers Lodge, which was deliberately burnt down in 2023, killing 5 people.
Many women who we work with describe a reality where it's actually safer for them to be on the streets than it is in a boarding house.
MSD refused to appear on camera, but pointed out most emergency housing applications are approved and are assessed on the circumstances of the individual. And they said they don't pre-screen people's eligibility for emergency housing. But MSD instructions to staff, which we've obtained, show people do go through what MSD calls an initial screening to find out their specific needs and to book appointments.
The information that you've shown me, Amelia, here really does indicate how the current emergency housing policies are trying to keep people out, not in.
Policies the government is refusing to change.